Hi everyone, I'm Dan Albers and welcome to USBN Sports and Anderson Community Television for our pregame show here with Coach Dreyer. We're here at Kings High School, and we've always played Kings at the last game of the season. We got them earlier this year, but we got to bounce back after our loss last week to Harrison. How the kids responded?
I think this is one of the best games for us. Game 4, ECC opener. I wouldn't have it any other way to see how our kids react in a hostile environment to make sure our kids are ready for a big game atmosphere.
And do you think, how did the kids practice this week? Were they pretty good and pretty focused?
I think our practices were back to normal. I think our kids expect to win. I don't think we knew how to handle success so early, and I'm excited to see how our kids compete tonight.
You got a really tough quarterback tonight, and Tyler Neck. He's really good. I think he's been playing since he was a sophomore. What are you going to do to try to limit what he does? I don't know if you're going to be able to or not. He's pretty good.
I think we'll be able to do a lot of different things against him. I think the biggest thing is that our tackling in space has to improve from last week. But I'm more worried about how we play and how we run fit and make sure we don't give explosive plays. I think we have to worry about us before we can start worrying about Tyler and what he does.
And then offensively, how are you guys doing with anything on the injuries on the side, on offense or defense side of football?
No, I don't, other than one little injury. I think we're going to be fine. And I think the biggest thing is offensively, we've got to take care of the football tonight and, again, worry about what we do, not what the Kings defense is going to throw at us tonight. I think that's the greatest thing about our systems, all offense and defensively. Let's worry about us and see how we compete tonight.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to ask you about. That is them defensively trying to do something. Your offense is pretty geared for anything that'll come at you. Is that a pretty accurate statement? Or?
I'm interested to see their outside linebacker versus Dylan or Sean and how that lines up. I think our guys are ready to see what a Division I scholarship kid looks like against our offensive tackles, and I think we're up for a great challenge tonight to see Kings so early in the season. I'm just super excited to see where we're going to be at the end of the night, of how we compete for 48 minutes and see what happens when we face adversity tonight.
And he told those kids, as we talked at Butterbees last week, you lost a game last week. It's a down, everybody's down a little bit, but you start ECC play, and that's the most important thing to get you guys to where you want to be, and that's to win the league.
The winner of the ECC gets I call it the automatic bid to the playoffs, and I really truly believe that if you win our league, you get a spot, and that's how we're going to approach it, week by week. And this is just one time to go 1-0 tonight, and that's the main thing I want our kids to focus on. Let's not worry about what other people control. Let's worry about what we control. That's 1-0 tonight.
Hopefully the weather will stay away. It looks a little like it's starting to cloud up a little bit, but tonight, what do you think are going to be the big keys for tonight's game?
I think on defense, stopping explosive plays. Like we did that the first 2 weeks. I think we had a little bit of a letdown, and I'm excited to see our defense pop back, especially in our defensive backfield when we challenge them this week. And offensively, being able to control their different fronts and be able to move the ball down the field. I don't think we can go and throw it down the field. I think we have to march it down the field in 12 or 13 play drives. And the first time we have a turnover, we can't just let a big explosive play after that. So, all
right, that's Coach Dreyer joining us here on the pregame show here at Kings High School. We'll be back with Coach Schmidt here on the defensive side of the football with his thoughts. We'll be back right after this. Hi everyone, I'm Dan Albers back here at the pregame show on USBN Sports and Anderson Community Television. I'm joined with the defensive coordinator, Nick Schmidt. And Nick, thanks for joining us as always.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about last week. You got your first loss against a good Harrison team. I think me included was very surprised at how good Frankie Young is, and Frankie Young was a pretty good quarterback last week.
Yes, he was. He was accurate. He put the ball into the players' hands for them to make plays. Going into the game, we expected 3 and 22 to do some damage. Not as extensive as it was, but giving up the big plays, it really hurt us.
Yeah, and talking a little bit about that, I'm sure it was kind of frustrating for you as a defensive coordinator. It seems like a lot of stuff that they were doing, they either made plays happen or extended plays. And was it hard for you to try to get those kids to understand, hey, you just make your assignments, do your tackles, and stay where you are? I mean, is that what you try to explain to the kids?
Yeah, it's important that we make sure that we take care of ourselves. And that's the big thing going into this week, is making sure that we take care of what we need to do as a defense, make sure that we take care of ourselves. Facing a good Kings opponent, and if we play the way we did last week, it's going to be a struggle for us. Yeah. Making sure that our assignments are done well and making sure that we take care of ourselves more importantly than anything. Like I said, Harrison's athletes did well last week, and we allowed them to do well based on some of our alignment and so forth and starting off. And hopefully this week we turn around and we have a better performance than what we did last week.
And you got a really good quarterback today, Tyler Knecht. He's been, like I told the coach, he's been playing, I think, since he's a sophomore. I think he's signed Division I. What are you going to do to try? What can you do to try to stop him, or is it going to be hard to stop him tonight?
Obviously, the goal is to stop him, but most importantly, it's making sure that our kids take care of ourselves. As I had said, that's a big thing that we talked about this week. They'd run so many things offensively and do so much that they can spread the ball out, that we need to make sure that we trust our keys, we play through what we're going to do. Their quarterback's a great player. He's going to put the ball in the hands of some of their receivers. He, as I told the guys, he likes to run like a fullback, so it's going to be important that we get some helmets to him, make sure our run fits are taken care of, playing our gaps and playing our assignments. Trust that our teammates are going to make plays outside.
Are we going to see more of the, like you said, is it more the spread? Is it going to be more run, more pass? Are they heavy on one or the other, or is it?
They are about 50-50. They are 51-49, so it is going to be pretty much anything, and they're going to play and they're going to do their thing, and that's important for us where we come and we do our thing this week. They're going to give us quite a bit of formation recognition and making sure that we align correctly.
How did your kids respond after last week, and then you had practice this week? Did they respond pretty well?
This week's practice went much better than last week's practice. I think our kids had a better focus and understanding what we wanted to get accomplished. I think it's important that they realize that as success comes, there's going to be some build-up pressure, and it's important for them to realize that with that success and the pressure coming through, that they just got to play football.
Do you guys have any guys that are injured? Anybody that you might move in and out, anything like that going on?
There's some guys that are going to get an opportunity to play that haven't seen the field yet.
Oh, really?
They've worked hard, and I think the opportunity now is a time to present itself. And one kid, Oliver Maduro, has really been focused into games, focused into practice, and it's going to be interesting to see what he can do tonight.
That's awesome. Well, just good luck this week, and hopefully we'll pot a victory, be a really big victory. We can pull this one out tonight.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
That's Coach Nick Schmidt joining us here. We're back with live action right after this.